Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here coming at you from the Rocky Mountains. And behind me, the 2017 Land Rover Discovery. Now this is the fully loaded model. And coming up next, with all the tech that's packed in this vehicle, we're gonna take it up Gold Mine Hill. And the hardest obstacle for a vehicle like this is actually getting grip on the tree roots. And then of course, being able to articulate as we go over this section here. Check out these numbers: 254 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque, and that's coming out of a little 3-liter turbo diesel. Now, it's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission going to all 4 wheels through one of the more sophisticated all-wheel drive systems that I have seen. This, on the highway, is capable of getting up to 26 miles per gallon. There are so many cool little cubbies and all that throughout the vehicle. I'm really impressed. By the way, this part of the Gold Mine Hill, our first stage, it's a lot more challenging on, I don't know, a car or a crossover, because there's a lot of loose rocks and whatnot, and they do tend to move, and the sand on top of it is kind of sort of loose as well. So I've had vehicles where I've had to flog them to get up here, sometimes even wide open throttle. But this vehicle, especially with the diesel engine, just is casually walking along. And at the end of it, which I'm coming up to, we stop, which kills all momentum and makes for a much more challenging left turn on a extremely deep rut. All right, this is actually where everything goes wrong. Let me explain. These are 20-inch wheels, and these are Goodyear Eagle radials. Now, these tires are perfectly good on the streets, but they're not really built for off-road. If you look, there's not a whole lot of shoulder tread there. It's not very deep. Most importantly, look at that sidewall. It's not like you're going to air down very much with these. Let's talk about some of the technical issues that some of you off-roaders really want to hear about, and that includes approach, departure, and breakover angle. The approach angle is 23.6 degrees. Now, keep in mind, that's when you're at its highest level. The suspension, remember, goes up and down. Departure angle is 25 degrees, but if you have a tow hitch like this does, it's slightly less. And then finally, the ramp angle or breakover angle, which is 20.1 degrees. Now, there are a bunch of modes here. There is a mud and snow setting, there is a sand setting, and there is a rock setting, which I currently have it in. By the way, no problem around this at all. I did lift a wheel. And that's what's really cool with this monitor. It actually shows you which wheel has contact and which one's losing it or has lost it completely. It's so cool. Pay attention to what you're seeing here. These two locks represent the middle and rear diffs. These represent your traction. Now, when you see one of these go to yellow, that means there's only a little bit of traction at that tire. If it goes to red, that means there's no traction at that tire. And it's also showing the way the system is thinking. So these will lock and unlock as needed, and then it'll transfer power to the wheels that have grip. So just keep an eye on this, it's awesome. Now in many cases, styling is subjective. Some people love these types of vehicles, some people hate them. I personally like the styling. One of the easiest ways to tell the difference is with the safari glass up top. And that's been a repeated theme with Land Rover Discoveries. As a matter of fact, I actually own the first generation Discovery. And it has nothing in common with this one. Nothing, except for the glass up there. Otherwise, I think it's a clean design. I think it's very sleek, and at the same time, it doesn't look very rugged. So I could see why some people may not like it. This is one of the few vehicles where aesthetics and actual function, well, they don't exactly meet in the middle. I think it's a beautiful interior. If you look at it visually, the stitching looks great. All the plastics look expensive. They don't feel hollow or super hard. The problem is this. The back seats, not very comfortable. They're very hard seats, not a lot of give. And the hardest obstacle for a vehicle like this is actually getting grip on the tree root. And then, of course, being able to articulate. So go over this section here. I don't really think it's going to be up. I lifted a wheel. Cool. Yeah, no problem. Not a problem. Did get a lot of wheel lift though. And that's one of the things about having an independent suspension. And the articulation is nowhere near as good as it would be on a Jeep Wrangler. So what Land Rover has to do is they have to figure this stuff out. And it's all electronic, and frankly speaking, it works beautifully. Bam! See this? This is luxury leather cleaner, and it comes with this vehicle. Why? Because the interior is extremely expensive. The whole vehicle is expensive. This comes out to just over $80,000. And that's a lot of dough to spend for a vehicle that, quite frankly, very few people are going to take off-road. But if you do, look at it this way. If you put proper off-road tires on this vehicle, I would imagine it can go just about anywhere. So check this out. You push this button. Isn't that bloody lovely? Oh, yes. I have no idea why this is even necessary. It doesn't really feel very strong. I was going to sit on it, but you really don't want a 280-pound gorilla sitting on this. I can almost guarantee that. And there are some other little neat storage nooks here and there. But the bottom line is, every once in a while, when you buy something British, you just have to roll with it.